I guess I should present you first. You are Alex.
Hi.
And do you want to maybe give a few words about yourself? Tell us a little bit.
Okay, so really briefly, I'm Alex. I'm 38 from Tel Aviv, mechanical engineer by education and trade, but really a student of philosophy and the mind and the body. Just a regular guy trying to live the best life I can.
Aren't we all?
Mm-hmm.
So I was telling you before that my goal with this podcast and eventually as I develop it is to give people a peek into the work I do, into what is consciousness work, what is mindset coaching. I often present myself as a holistic therapist just because it's something people can understand a little bit more. But it's not easy to explain what the work is. And in its essence, I actually view myself as a teacher. So not as a coach, not as a therapist. And what I like to do is teach people. And what I teach these days is I teach people about themselves. And I hold a belief, a spiritual belief, that we are co-creators of our reality, whether through Eastern philosophy, where we summon in the frequency and we manifest and whatever, or through Western view of unconscious choices that lead and create our lives and how we interpret reality through that. So I like to teach people why their lives look the way they do, and sometimes also how how we can change that reality into something that's more desirable. And it's sometimes through connecting people to parts in themselves that they can't see, something called shadow work, Carl Jung. And sometimes it's just through allowing people to dissolve the paradoxes or the lies they hold. And with each person, it's different, because we're all different. And you asked me before, how is it going to be? Because how will it be for me as well? Because we are friends, we know each other for a while. And yesterday I met with a friend, Emma, and she asked me, do you ever stop coaching? Because as we were talking as friends as well, I straight away went into parts in her that she didn't see that were creating a certain reality. And I think for me, there is no longer a separation. I have the privilege of not being a traditional Western therapist, so I'm not bound by the therapy code of conduct and general constructs, because I don't do therapy as well. And that allows me to just be myself with the person. If we're talking about Carl Jung, he said as well, first be yourself in the room with the person. So it's not that I put a hat when I come into the session and now I'm here as your teacher. I'm just me. And hopefully I can show you maybe something you don't see in yourself. And I think this is the main thing I want to bring into this podcast. And I also hope that through resonance, things that will be alive for you, or things that maybe you can see, or things that I share, will impact the viewers or the listeners. And this is my goal with this session. So what I like to do generally is I like to ask the person in front of me to draw me a picture of their life in this present moment. So you gave us a little bit of titles: engineer, this, that. Draw me the picture of your life now, whatever you're comfortable with. Single, is your relationship with the parents, brothers, sisters, work, general emotional state, physical state, health, what bothers you. Tell the story however you want to tell it.
Okay. So I think one of the reasons why engineer was also the first thing I chose to introduce myself was because of where my career is at today. At the beginning of this year, I went back to the job market, started working again in my profession, or maybe not again, but for the first time in my life, 10 years after I finished my degree. And it's kind of weird. For 7 years, I've been self-employed, and now working a steady job, 9 to 6, gets me into this different life rhythm than I became used to. So a lot of the things that happened to me this year were kind of defined by this change of pace in my life. But this change happened from a conscious choice to move to something that is more secure and better suited for achieving my first goal, I would say, in life right now, which is to start my own family. And kind of for that, I feel that you need a strong economic basis and stability. So that's kind of a big chunk of my life right now is work. I'm not fully satisfied with the work that I do. I mean, I was kind of surprised to see how much I love working in engineering. So I work at a factory that does 3D printing, and I manage projects and operations there. And it's really cool, like, to see that in action and to get back to it. I feel like I've been around this my entire childhood. I learned this in high school. I grew up with this at home. So it's the comfort of the known and convenient, and not just the comfort, but also kind of the sense that I'm actually good at this. I have been out of this for 10 years, and I'm jumping back in, and I meet people that have been working this entire time, maybe decades of experience, and kind of I feel like I can hold my own when we talk technical ideas. Sure, I don't like if I go into the detailed engineering, I'm out of practice. But when I talk general concepts, I see the big picture, I see the small picture, and I see a lot of things that maybe typical engineers don't see because I have a strong business background. Yeah, but I don't really like the people I work with. So I'm kind of stuck in this comfort zone that I'm a little bit afraid to move out of. If everything was great with me being self-employed, I would not have chosen to go back to this job market.
Mm.
One of the things that really held me up and supported me in this past couple of years was actually my physical fitness practice. So I have a very strong practice with my body. I do yoga, I do calisthenics, I work out a lot, and I have a very, very strong connection to my physical body that I've developed over these past, 6 years. And so it was very important for me to keep it going, and I'm glad that I found a way to make it work with this routine of work. And so then what I feel is most alive in me, or kind of unstable in my life right now, is the social environment. So, like I said, I got this job because I want to start a family, but I'm single, and I feel that it's hard to meet the right spouse that I can get into this adventure of child raising with, or maybe even not just a spouse. I feel like over these years, my perception of family and family structures had become so flexible that I'm not necessarily bound by the traditional view that a family is a mother and a father and kids, like in a house. I can see a lot of different models that can work for me. So I have a lot of flexibility there, which could also be a downside and not necessarily an advantage. Yeah, so I'm single. I have a good relationship with my family. That's something that's been stable in my life. Kind of every Friday we have the family dinner. I really love my parents and my brother. Try to stay in touch with them. I mean, I keep better. I keep closer connection with my friends than I do with my family, but I feel very comfortable and loving with them. Yeah. So like usually the thing that gets me busy is my social circles, my friends. Like there's a lot in my life I feel between the relationship issues and other things that's revolved around this kind of fear of being alone. So kind of always to navigate the sensation where I'm lonely, and it's sometimes okay to be lonely, and it's sometimes okay to be with people, and kind of to make sure that I'm choosing to spend my time with people because this is the good thing for me and the right thing for me, and not because I'm in some sort of stress and need. And so because I've noticed how that tends to drive me to the wrong relationships, to the wrong people, to the wrong places. And I'm really glad of the awareness that I have for this and the attention that I pay to what I do and how it makes me feel, the people I'm spending time with. But I'm kind of looking for my place socially. But I feel like, this podcast, when you posted this, you posted this with a question, though, like one thing you would like to tackle in your life. And though that thing is something that keeps me very busy, I feel like that question really sparked this career conversation for me. Like, is my job, am I living the life that I want to be living? Like, am I fulfilling my calling? Do I understand my path, my future, my way? Like, or am I just rolling with it? And kind of, I feel like everywhere in my life, it's interconnected. I see this interconnected string of how I deal with difficult situations for me, how I deal with hardship, how I deal with challenges. Like, because sometimes it feels a little arrogant to say it, but sometimes I feel like I'm so talented and I'm so blessed to have all of these things in my life, and so many things come easily to me that it's so easy to make the easy choices and still have an amazing experience, an amazing life, and amazing relationships, like a great job, great salary, but make the safe choices and not the hard choices. And I understand that whenever I start kind of tackling the things that I really want to do, when I meet the people that I really want to be with, it becomes this like anxiety driven exchange. And suddenly that piece in me, that part in me makes me avoid the thing that I really want, makes me sometimes choose the thing that is the safest. And when things get hard, I feel like I'm drowning under the pressure or the stress of it. And I wonder how authentic I am, with what I do, with how I do it. I wonder if I really choose the things that I want to, or I just manage my expectations together with kind of trying not to overexert myself just to, keep something that is 60, 70, I don't know, percent feel good, and like that's okay. Just be content with something that is less than.
So what would you say the biggest challenge currently is for you? Career?
I guess so. Yeah. I guess career, kind of my career path, where I want to go, where I want to be, what I want to do.
If you had to crystallize that challenge into a sentence, what would it be? What do I want to do?
I guess it would be what I want to do. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So when I write, and if someone else would come and see what I write, they would not understand, because I don't write information. For me, what I try to do is, like I said, you're painting a picture and I try to see it. So I'm putting these things and I'm starting to see what I can see, what the image looks like, what can I hear. And at the moment, I'm just collecting little pieces of the puzzle. Still can't see an image. And now I'd love it if you can draw the same picture, but of your childhood self. So what home did you grow up in? How was it like growing up there? What did you feel at home? It doesn't need to be something big and long, just a general picture of your childhood.
Oh, I have a lot to say about my childhood. So how do I keep it condensed?
You don't need to keep it condensed.
No, yeah, but
say what
I
you
just
have to
want to
say.
stick to drop the essence, so to speak. So I moved here when I was 7 years old. That was kind of a traumatic experience of just kind of getting ripped from your home and being put in a new place without you having a say about it. My parents got divorced. My father stayed in Ukraine and I moved here with my mother. I was a Jewish boy in a racist country, so I had my childhood was really kind of laced with these experiences with other kids that of being bullied, or what would be the word for that?
What were you bullied for?
For being a Jew, like just for being a Jew, being bullied or being outcast out, yeah, in Ukraine, in early childhood. And then also like when I moved to Israel, so it was because I was a newcomer from the Soviet Union. So there they hate me because I'm a Jew. Here they hated me because I'm a Russian, so to speak. So a lot of my childhood was kind of laced with this trauma of belonging, of wanting to be a part of, but also being rejected by my peer group. Also growing up in Ukraine, like it's a different kind of environment. So hitting kids is okay. My teachers would hit me. That would be part of the educational program, which I feel like it taught me to suppress some emotions when I was very, very young, especially anger. And I feel like I learned early on in my childhood to be a good boy, and that good boys deserve love and bad boys don't. That if I do what others expect of me, if I be hyper vigilant and hypersensitive, and if I'll just please my parents, that my parents would love me and appreciate me, and not just my parents, all the adults around me. So, and I was always growing up in this environment that had a lot of criticism, like, why are you not the best? Why are you number two? Why is it an A minus in your tests? Yeah. And on top of that, kind of like moving here also not just ostracized me from other kids, but also from my parents, because my mom had to work so hard to just support us when we moved. So she was barely around, like from when I was 7 till I was like 11, 12. I was a lot on my own. Yeah, I guess in broad strokes, I think those were the main shaping forces in my early life.
Do you remember what you felt as a child? Some general feeling you would go, like that you would have and hold? You're coming into a new country after you escaped being bullied in Ukraine just for who you are. Very challenging thing for a child. There is a divorce between your parents. You're moving here just with your mom. And then even here where you escape to, you're feeling like an outsider and being bullied. Being bullied at school for being an outsider. And then you come home and you have to be a good boy and perform. How did that feel for the child?
I don't know. I mean, I have not really felt a lot back then.
And if you had to guess?
I would guess it was frustrating. It was very frustrating, depressing, even maybe kind of, draining, really draining, just sucks all the life out of me.
What's frustrating about it?
Nothing I do is good enough.
So if nothing I do is good enough,
then there's no point in trying,
Yeah, but what am I?
Surprisingly, I am still good enough. I am loved. I'm great for what I am. And it doesn't really matter.
But if we see a child, and we say nothing this child does is good enough, what would the child think about itself?
That it's a failure, that he's a failure,
What else?
that he's weak.
If I have, an item, an object, or a child, and that it's a failure and it's weak, what is it?
The object that is a failure and is weak, I would say trash.
Why would I call something trash?
It's useless.
I'm just bringing something up that comes to me. Is it useless because there's something wrong with it as well?
Possibly. I mean, there are many reasons a thing could be useless. Could be broken, or it could be like maybe it has outlived its usefulness, its life cycle.
So would you say as a child you may have felt useless?
May have felt useless. Although really, I'm kind of like saying all that, I still had an intense feeling of being valued. Maybe not so much by my parents, but a lot by my teachers at school. I was always praised for being such a lovely kid. I was always naughty and noisy, but I was also kind of cute about it.
Notice the language, valued. Useless has no value. I'm valued. There's value. There is still a system of value here that I'm positioned on.
Yes.
And I can imagine a child feeling useless. I'm in the Ukraine, and I'm being attacked because of something I am, not something I do. So my essence, the core of what I am, is bad, is useless. And then I move here, and now no matter what, again, something else in me is being attacked. The different part now, it's again my essence. I'm an outsider. It's something I have no control over.
And I was also attacked on things that I do. So not just on what I am, but also on what I do, because I'm noisy and I'm energetic and I run around and I, just a kid. And then, people want me to sit down and listen.
What comes to me now is maybe instead of useless, maybe I'm not enough. I'm not good enough. I don't have enough value. When you say I'm too much, I'm too loud, I'm not quiet enough. And I learned to become a good boy, a good child, to try and feel like I'm enough.
And to try and earn, right? Because you talked about value before. So everything is kind of measured and is affecting my value. So how do I earn more value in the eyes of these older people that I rely on for my survival as a child, right?
Very difficult for a child to go through this experience.
Tell me about it.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Now, if we take it back to today, you're with this feeling of, I'm not sure what to do around this career. And there is a part in you that feels like it needs more information? Or is there a part in you that says, I don't know what's the right choice? How is this idea of not knowing what to do around work feels and exists within you?
So I would say some of it is laced with this question of value. Like, would they value me if I choose to do this or that, where I get the appreciation that I want to get, where will I earn the salary that I believe I deserve based on my abilities and talents and qualifications, but maybe more based on what I give for what I do. Because for me, it's a lot about being invested and being there and doing that and doing kind of the best that I can at whatever I do. And so when I bring that, I feel like it's an exchange. Feels a lot like an exchange. Like I do that to get something. So I'm not sure what path I'm taking. I'm not sure where I'm going. And some of it is because I'm afraid to feel worthy to go somewhere. Some places. And some of it is because I have these conflicting priorities. Because if my priority is to have a stable income and provide for my family right now, for the family that I want to have, then how can I put myself first and spend time and effort and maybe energy and money on developing a new career, on developing something else or learning more, or because everything, I guess, regardless of where I choose to go, it would require me to invest more of myself into it, more of my resources, more of my attention, unless I just do what I did in the past and I roll with this job and I go wherever it takes me. And I assume, because that's how my life has been so far. I assume that at some point a new opportunity would present itself, and I could just like roll with it without actively driving the change, the opportunities generated, the direction of where it's going, just by choosing and maybe having more faith in myself that this time around I'll choose better than I did before.
I'm gonna now take us back to childhood for a second, and then we'll come back to this moment.
Okay.
When you felt like you were not enough as a child, how would you act?
I would mostly complain, I guess. So it would be this kind of frustration accompanied by like this experience of being a victim of the situation. I'm the victim here and nothing goes my way, and life is so unfair and blah, blah, blah.
So that's the conversation that would happen in your mind.
Yeah.
Life is so unfair. And as you're in this moment as a child, feeling frustrated, there's this, life is so unfair. What feelings does the child feel in that moment?
I don't know how to translate that into a feeling, but I think I was constantly looking to escape the situation, to escape the feeling, the sensation. And so when I was young, I would watch a lot of TV or play a lot of computer games, and it was always a fantasy of somewhere I could escape and just not be here in my predicament.
What decision did you as a child make in that moment, through those moments, through those experiences? Frustrated, I feel life is unfair, I feel like a victim. It's so bad, I try to escape to a fantasy world all the time. I'm escaping from something. I'm trying to move away from feeling like I'm not enough. What decision did the child make?
I think the first decision that child make was to dissociate, to avoid feeling anything, to try and not feel all of these things by just eliminating the feeling side of himself.
What else?
I think I learned to play the system. I would try to create or understand the rules of the world, of the expectations, like what's the formula that if I do this, I get that.
When you understood the system, the formula, what would you do with it?
I would repeatedly implement it. I would stick to it. It would become like this unbreakable law inside of me, or at least I would think it would be unbreakable, and then later on I would discover that all of these places where I rebel against these boundaries or these strict expectations I put on myself.
Okay, so now I'm taking it back to now. And what I want to do is I want to tell you a little bit what I see. Just because I see it doesn't mean it's true. You don't have to take anything I say. Definitely don't take it for granted. Wait, turn it around, see if it fits you. You are stuck a little bit with this question of career. What do I want to do? There are areas in your life that are not where you want them. Not just career, socially, partner. I feel a little bit frustration in the air of the story of today. And under the frustration, I don't know if the word is despair. That's a big word, but there is a heaviness to the frustration. Like, what do I do? And I think it all ties to me to this false idea. I call them false identities that lives within you. Still, there's a part of it that lives within you that I am not enough. Because if I am not enough, something in my essence is not good enough, how can I do anything? Something's broken. It can't produce good results, can't produce the value I want. As a child, you developed an amazing tools to survive. And not just physically survive, but mentally and emotionally survive a very challenging period, to maintain a core of your essence, of your soul, to keep it whole through all of those challenges. And part of the tools you developed, as you said, disassociation, but also escape. You would escape into the fantasy world. And I think today this tool that's connected to the system of I'm not enough, and we will talk about it in a bit, is still active, but instead of escaping to the fantasy world of TV and games, it's escaping to thoughts. It gets you stuck in thought loops, thinking. It became not a tool, the thoughts, but actually a place to escape to. Gives you a feeling like you are doing something. I am thinking, I'm creating value. It's a little bit of what I feel. You also learn to play the system. But then when I understand the system, I stick to it. But there is no real system. The system that we live in is interpretation of situations. And you have built a system that is tied to this false identity of I'm not enough, that is keeping you locked in it today as well, because you are stuck to it. You are still playing by these rules of a system that you actually define the rules of internally. Not making a decision is a decision. Not knowing what to do, being in this state of wanting, is making sort of choices every day to fulfill that. And what this system does, it keeps you feeling a certain way, and it keeps you feeling in a certain part of you like you are still not enough. There is a part of you that still holds on to it. If I only knew better, if I was a better provider, if I could provide more, if I had more options, then I would know what to do. But because I don't have enough information, I don't have enough options, I'm not good enough at engineering, I'm too good at engineering. When I'm too good at something, is still I'm not good enough. Right? If I'm not quiet, if I'm too loud, I'm not quiet enough as well. It's the opposite of it, just linguistically. So I'm so talented, but I'm still not able to make the right choices, or I'm so talented, but I don't find the right place. There is still an essence of something in me is not good enough here, right? I'm not fitting. The puzzle piece is not fitting. I'm just still trying to put the puzzle. I'm just putting what I see in front of you a little bit. There is also an emotion that's sitting behind everything. That emotion is I'm not enough. The fear of being alone, that's a little bit in the background, right? Why am I afraid to be alone? What would it mean about me if I'm alone? Not enough. There's sometimes an anxiety as a tool that the body awakens. The anxiety is a physical sensation that comes for us not to feel something. And I think what it's trying to avoid feeling is I'm not enough. Where all this leads to, for me, is that I think the reason you are finding it challenging to make a decision about what you want to do is because you are confined by a fear of feeling like maybe I might end up not feeling like I'm enough. There is in all of the choices a weight, a power impacting them that will this choice eventually help me feel like I'm enough? So will this job make me enough money so I can be the provider? Will here I'll finally be fulfilled? There is less a frequency, a feeling of, is this what I want to do? And more, will this make me not feel something? When I'll make the money, I will feel like I'm enough. I will not feel like I'm not enough. Does that make sense a little bit?
Yeah.
How is everything I'm saying so far?
So it kind of makes me wanna push back a little on the confidence side, like on the feeling of not being enough, on how much that still drives me. But then again, like all the symptoms do point back to it. Yeah, and then really like it stands out, and it's a part of me that I'm a little bit familiar with. It is like this piece that's I'm never happy because nothing is enough. So I always need more. And maybe when I get that more, then I'll be happy. And it's hard to be happy with what I have right now. And it's kind of part of the struggle that I'm trying to align or kind of maybe train my nervous system to respond differently, to just be content with what I have, be satisfied with what I have. I mean, these great achievements, this talent, this stability that I have, this ability to make choices and follow them, to go through with the priorities that I set and the decisions that I make. But it's still like I don't have the comfort in it.
You have built an amazing tool, this disassociation. Very important tool. That it was a genius of a child that built that tool, because it was a necessity for the environment you were in. And then today, this tool is no longer serving you. You are missing a lot of important information about who you are and your desires and about reality for you.
And I would maybe say that this tool of dissociation is part of the things I've been doing a lot of shadow work with, right? I've been learning to feel more and be more in tune with my emotions and sensations and make more room to it, be more aware. Like I became more familiar with the signs of dissociation. So whenever I catch myself drifting away, I would maybe stop and ask, like, is this the right time to do this? Or maybe right now I should try to connect more to what I'm feeling. And then I feel like a lot of the challenge today is more around, okay, now that I feel these feelings, what do I do with them?
I can offer an idea. The body, the mind, nature does not waste energy. Everything has a reason. The reason impacts the result. You have done a lot of work. First, because I know you personally, and second, because I can see it, how you communicate. But even as we speak about things that are not easy, childhood, I can feel the disassociation, and you're aware of it. You are doing amazing work of connecting to the feelings, understanding them, doing shadow work with them. But I think what's missing a little bit is meeting the part that is responsible for you shutting down those feelings. And this is something I see missing in a lot of spiritual work and shadow work. I think you would get a lot of value for actually sitting and meeting the part that feels like you're not enough. So emotions are a bodily sensation that together with a language, right? There is a sensation and we give it meaning. It can be the same sensation with different meanings. Butterflies in the stomach, this tingling, this pressure. When I'm in front of a beautiful woman, wow, excitement, love. Butterfly in the stomach, this tingling sensation in front of a lion, fear. The body has a limited capacity and colors to shape the physical sensations, and then together. I think there is a part of you that is afraid, in lack of better word, to feel like you are not enough. And to avoid feeling that, you have lowered the volume on this feeling. But when we lower the volume on one feeling, we lower the volume of all of them. We lower the volume of the body. I think that if you will work and be able to sit with the physical sensation and connect to, build intimacy with the physical sensation of I am not enough, that is, give room to the part in you that still believes like you are not enough. Not try to mend it and heal it by showing it how you are enough, but by just for a second allowing you to feel like I am not enough. How does it feel? The child that felt that. Give room to that child. And as you do that, provide resources to that child to build its confidence. So as you will feel whatever that is, and I will talk about it in a second, the feeling of I'm not enough, mentally rewire whatever's happening here through, you can say, beneficial parenting. My love, you are enough. You are good. It's okay. You don't need to provide value for you to have value. I love you as you are. We are rewiring because at the moment there is a system, and I call it a system of I'm not enough, false identity, that has strategies, habits, patterns of behavior, patterns of thinking, voices specifically attached to it. When I'm feeling like I'm not enough, certain thoughts come up. When I'm feeling like I'm not enough, certain behaviors come up to not feel that. And as you will learn to sit with this sensation, the threat of it will lower because we will build resilience to this sensation that we are trying to avoid. As the threat of it will lower, your, whatever you want to call it, the nervous system charge, your courage, however you want to say, will rise. So your ability to take action that is against this sensation will rise, will come forth. Right now, when you're trying to make a choice around what do I want to do with work, even if I want to get there, if in the way there is the feeling of I'm not enough, there is the risk of feeling it, your only way to get there is either doing a very long detour or just not going there where I want to be. But if I learn to sit with this, I learn to be in this fire, sit in this pit of feeling. If this is where I want to go and it goes through this thing I'm afraid of, but I've built resilience to this thing I'm afraid of, I can walk on fire, I can still go to where I want. So you will be able to start expressing your desires and moving towards them more easily. Does that make sense?
It does. In some ways it does.
You want to do it even right now. So because we're in a podcast, it's a bit more sensitive. There's the video and all. I find that there's two general good ways to connect to the emotion. One is sort of summoning it, trying to remember a period of time, a moment in recent time where I felt like I'm not enough. Oh, wow, when my mom called me and she said, you're not visiting me and like, you're not a good child because you're not visiting me. And I felt like I'm not enough. And then what happened is I brought resistance and defense. No, I'm busy. I don't, whatever. What happened there? Oh, I felt like I'm not a good enough child. I'm not a good enough son. I'm not good enough. How did it feel? Oh, there was a constriction in the stomach. Heat came up. My chest felt tight. swallowing got hard, there was a lump here, okay. Connecting to that feeling and bringing it up. That is remembering it and sort of allowing it to come up in the body again. As you will do it, you will get better at it. And then sitting with it. Option 2, which I love and I learned from one of my mentors, Jaguar Hart, that's amazing, is actually using language to bring it up. And I think maybe we spoke about it a while ago. Sitting, connecting to the body, getting comfortable, and then actually saying as a statement in a downward voice, feeling the vibration in the body, bringing it to reality, this thing I'm afraid to meet, which is I am not enough. I am not enough, and seeing what comes in the body. So in a lot of the spiritual bypass world, they say, no, don't say it. If I'm afraid to say something, it means it has power over me. Who needs to say, look how strong I am? Someone who feels weak. If I don't feel weak, I don't need to show that I am strong. Same thing with this. If we feel resistance to saying it, it means it has some power on us. And we're going to ride that power, that resistance to awaken the emotion. And then there is also the spiritual Eastern philosophy of the energy sitting in your frequency field and you are verbalizing it, and language has a tone, which is frequency, and the frequencies meet and it creates resonance, which helps the body, whatever you want to, whatever idea you hold that helps you do that. Do you want to try and do that a little bit here? Or do you want to do it?
Sure, let's try.
Yeah. All right. So sit down, close your eyes, as they say. Get comfortable in this podcasting room.
To get comfortable, I will need...
Yeah, let's get that.
Once.
No, I'm good. Okay. Feel the body. Feel the chair you're sitting on, the temperature of the room, clothing on the body. When you are ready, not now, but in a minute, you will say 3 times in a row, slowly, as a statement, I am not enough. After you will say that, all you will do is observe the body as an outsider. Look at the
Can we
feelings.
go with option 1?
Option 1?
Like recalling a recent
Yeah.
occurrence of...
Yes, we can. Is there a reason? Does option 2 feel a little bit that there's resistance?
No, it feels weak.
Yeah.
It feels like less. It feels like I can feel more with option 1.
Okay, definitely. So let's do that. Let's go into a moment where you felt like you are not enough. Is there a recent moment that you can remember?
Yes.
Do you want to tell me a little bit about it or not?
So a couple of weeks ago, I started seeing someone,
Mm-hmm.
and I really liked her.
Yeah.
I really liked her. We spent like maybe 2 weeks together.
Yeah.
It was pretty intense. I was really attracted to her. I liked the dynamic. I was a little scared of some parts of it, but I was kind of going with it, and I wanted it to work out. But then she rejected me.
Let's go into this moment of rejection.
Yeah.
How did it feel? What did you feel in the body in that moment? Or what sentence came to your mind as she rejected you?
Yeah. Worthless. Like, no one would accept you the way you are.
Yeah. And as that sentence came, what did you feel in the body?
I felt pain and sadness.
Where did you feel that pain?
I felt the pain in my chest.
Yes. Did it have a shape, this pain?
Not that I'm aware of. Actually, now it hurts in my arm too.
In the arms? Okay.
In one arm, in my right arm.
Right arm. Yeah.
Yeah. Does it have a shape?
Does this energy that's painful have a shape?
Not really. But if I put it in a shape, it will be an anvil.
Anvil?
Yeah.
Does it have a color?
Like a grayish black.
Is it see-through or?
No, it's like a cartoon anvil.
Cartoon anvil?
Yeah. Like the one that drops from the sky and then crushes the...
Does it have weight? Is it light, heavy?
It's very heavy.
Very heavy. Is it moving or static?
It's static.
Hmm.
It's like on top of me, trying to crush me under it.
How uncomfortable does it feel? 1 out of 10.
Like right now, it's pretty soft. It's not so intense. 4.
Or can you give this uncomfortable sensation more room? Make it 5. Let it expand.
Like, I don't know if it has more weight to it.
Let it expand to wherever it wants.
Yeah. So like, I think it wants to be at 4.
Sit with this 4. Look at it. Build intimacy with this sensation. This is the physical sensation of I am not enough. Just observe it. Don't resist it. Yeah, good. Observe it. No need to breathe to it. Just let it be. How much is it now? How uncomfortable is it now? Same?
Yeah, it's not uncomfortable at all, actually. Like, I don't feel discomfort in it.
Now I'll just ask you a few questions. When you believe this lie that you are not enough, how do you feel?
I feel frustration. I feel like, I don't know if I can call that a feeling, but I want to escape, looking for an escape.
When you believe this false idea that you are not enough? How do you behave?
I would look for some validation, physical, preferably kind of validation, or I'd want to retreat into a different lane where it's easier for me to feel enough. I'll kind of, either escape into something else that makes me drown out this feeling, or just escape from wanting this thing anymore. Like I'll find another way. Like I didn't make it this time. Well, I will never make it. I'm not gonna even try again.
If I could take away this false idea that you're not enough, how would it feel?
Feel nice.
Lighter just already.
Yeah.
How would you act without this false idea?
Just be grateful for reality. Or like if she doesn't want me, like if she sees me and she doesn't want me, then that's fine. She's not the person for me, right?
Yeah.
So it
means nothing about you.
Yeah, it's great that we didn't waste more time or energy on each other, and I'm free to find something that is more suitable for me, someone who is better.
Options would become available to you. What thoughts, pathways, ideas, angles would become available to you around work if you didn't hold this false idea. If I took away this false idea that you're not enough.
I don't know.
That's something I would like you to think about. Can you give me some evidence that you are not enough?
There's a bunch of stuff that I'm the only person that's doing them at work.
Yeah, that's quite a lot. That's not just not enough, that's a lot. What else? Give me another good evidence.
I handle my boss pretty well.
Yeah. What about in life in general?
I have great friends.
Yeah, that's an amazing example. People love you for who you are. There's nothing better that shows that you are not enough.
And the funny thing is that people love me less when I feel not enough.
Because you love yourself less. Yeah. How does that anvil feel?
What anvil?
Yeah, exactly. You do look much lighter straight away.
Yeah, I mean, when I think about how people respond to me, like that makes me light up, really light up.
Yeah, you have a lot of light to give to the world.
Amen.
You've been confining yourself in this prison, feeling like you're not enough. You have done amazing with this weight on your shoulders while being constricted. I want to see what Alex does without the brake pedal being pressed as you're driving the vehicle of life, without this weight, without the constraints you've put on yourself, without the illusion. What might become available, clarity that will come.
My only objection to that is reality does put some brakes on our dreams, right? I can't have anything.
Maybe, but maybe a lot of it is how we interpret reality. I can get the exact two experiences and I can interpret one of them as showing that I am constrained and not enough. And I can have the exact same experience and a person would say, wow, this is the best gift ever. So maybe reality puts brakes, but maybe it gives lessons. Maybe it's holding you away. Maybe it's guiding you towards something.
Yeah, it's hard telling those apart.
Maybe you don't need to tell them apart. When you're ready, get back into the body, as they say. Feel the chair, the room you're in. You can move a little bit the toes, the hands, whatever. Get back into the body and slowly come back and open your eyes. How do you feel?
Easy.
Yeah. You had an anvil taken off you, of course. It's unbalancing.
Yeah, in a way.
I would love it if you sit more with the feeling that you are not enough. This feeling, make friends with it, give it room, that inner child. But it's not an inner child because it's you. Give room to this part in you. Sit with it, allow it to be. It's important information that you are putting down in the basement. Give it space, give it room. See what comes up. And then as these things come, do exactly what we did. Positive self-talk. But it's not positive self-talk. It's rewiring the programs that are tied to it. I feel like I'm not enough. Of course. Don't deserve it, etc. This is just a program being activated. Tuck, tuck. So now I'm feeling it, building the resilience. And when the program activated, shut down, reload new program, install new program. Yeah, I'm so light. I'm so amazing. I have friends. You are so good, Alex. You have so much unlimited potential for everything. Yeah, rewire. So now bad sensation, new program, and they will come together. The heart, brain, will meet in the throat through how you express yourself in the world. How you express yourself in the world affects your actions. And life will start moving maybe towards a different direction, more aligned with who you are and your free will, and less feeling this frustration of no matter what I do, I'm not fully there, because you're constantly moving away from a fear. Let's move towards what you want, even if it goes through that fear.
Yeah, I feel like more than anything, I need to give myself permission to fail, because once I do,
You will feel.
I can really try.
Yeah.
And then I try, and if I fail, then I can feel this feeling of being not enough, and sitting with it, and changing the program, like you say.
Allowing yourself to build resilience to the feeling of I'm not enough will lower the threat of failure. The problem is not in the failure, is it how it will make you feel.
Yeah, but often I avoid action to avoid.
But the minute I'm able to feel like I'm not enough, I've sat with it, I know it, I have intimacy with it, the threat of failure lowers, and your ability to allow yourself to fail will increase. So I think we're coming to the end of the session.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell me, what are you taking from this session? What did you see, maybe that you haven't seen before? What are you taking from it?
So I feel like this hits the right spot, right? Like during the session, there were parts, like the deep parts, when we were talking about the feeling of not enough, where I had this very strong
resistance.
Yeah, very strong resistance. I saw a lot of signs that I know when I was trying to escape the situation, and I was just like trying to stay present in the moment. So, like, it sucks to say, but I'm still stuck there a little bit, I guess.
Spent 30 years building a system, habits, it won't let go, break in a day.
Yeah.
But
that's
luckily
true.
You have your whole life to change and shift.
Yeah, so I really appreciate this focus on the sensation of not being enough, like this fear of failure. Yeah, need to meet it more, and learn better how to handle it.
You don't need to, you want to.
I want to. That's true. Thanks for that. Thanks for the
The need comes from the fear. I need to do it to be better, so I will be enough. I want to, not to be better, because I want to meet a part in myself. I want to meet my whole self. I want to be me.
Yeah, I want to be me. I like that.
Amazing, Alex.
Thank you.
So thank you for today. Thank you for doing the first session with me, the first podcast. Yeah. And let's see how it came out, and we'll see how it feels for you. I will send you the whole thing as well. And I'm sure people can get value of this. How many people out there feel like they're not enough?
Definitely.
I think everyone. We all have parts.
Yeah.
Some people, this is more alive in them, some people less, but everyone went through this feeling.
Sometimes I meet someone who doesn't have this, like not even a slight gist of it.
They went because they went through it. We all went through it. Majority of the world, maybe not everyone. And I think through your bravery of facing it and sitting it and being a man and still being able to sit with the emotions and feeling the resistance, but not going fully into that, I think that can be very inspiring for a lot of people.
Thank you.
Thank you, Alex.